Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Thursday, August 27th. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see another fairly large white body candle, a good answer from the buyers to the selling of the last couple of trading days. Today the buyers have continued with control, they've built solid momentum, some good solid commitment here, and importantly they've taken out this window that was opened up a few days ago, and that's a very important event to do that, to be able to come back strong enough to take out the window for it to not act as resistance. Suggests that the buyers are really showing some strength in this market. We have seen the buyers just breach up above the Candlestick indicator, closing in a strongly bullish manner up above there. We've only just tested above there. The next level here at the Kijun-sen, trading roughly about 1991, 1992, is going to be an important test, but just above there is the round number 2000. And that will be a real test for the buyers to see if they're strong enough to trade up through there. We could see the market test up through there and then be rejected, so a very important trading activity coming up over the next day or so. If the buyers are strong enough to close in a bullish manner above there, we have another window up around 2034, and then that highlighted yellow zone that held as support for a long period of time may begin to hold as resistance, so we need to watch that area very, very carefully. Now, just looking at the Fibonacci extension tool, and here we're examining the relationship of this current first time frame uptrend that the market's in and comparing it to the immediate previous first time frame uptrend. And here we see the 261.8% level just around that 2000 level, 2001 actually, so it strengthens the potential resistance around that round number. And next to the Fibonacci retracement of that very strong first time frame downtrend, and here we've seen the market just breach through the 50% level in a strong bullish manner. It suggests that we could see the market test to that 61.8% level. That's at 2013, but really the area below and around that 2000 round number is going to be the most important region. Just looking at the bands here with the S&P 500, and importantly the bottom band failed to hold as resistance for this market, and this really does suggest that that strong selling in that medium term time frame is no longer in the market, and the buyers have come back quite solidly. There's a good possibility of a test back towards the middle pivot point level, 2049, but it's a long way away from where the market's trading at the moment, so not really entertaining the thought of testing up to that area first. As I've mentioned on a few occasions now, the round number 2000 is going to be an important test. Moving next to the Dow 30 and a similar type of trading activity, a strong bullish candle, solid upside momentum, not as great as the previous day's trading, but still a big enough candle for it to be significant. Buyers closing with control, strongly committed, taking out important resistance at 16,588, taking out the Tenkan-sen and trading a fair way through the Tenkan-sen, and suggesting that there has been a positive change of bias in that short-term time frame to the upside. Importantly, and here and different than the S&P, is the solid bullish breach up above the Kijun-sen, and this suggests that the buyers certainly have returned to this market quite strongly, and there is good potential for them to trade to higher levels. Now, the problem is going to be, however, the resistance at 16,735 and 16,805. If those areas fail to hold as resistance, we certainly could see the market testing higher up to about this 16,978 area. Now, just looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool here, and we have the 61.8% level at 16,728, very close to that resistance area that we were looking at 16,735. So it certainly does suggest that we may encounter some strong resistance in this region, and it is a region that I'd like to see the buyers break out of to the upside in a strong bullish manner if we are going to see continued upside. Next to the Nasdaq 100, and here we see more buying here, a solid white body candle, a bit smaller than the previous white body, suggesting that net momentum to the upside is a bit less than previously. The size of the white body compared to some of these black bodies is certainly not as great, so that is causing some concern. We did see the buyers continue with control, however, by closing up at the highs in a similar manner to the previous day's trading, so that suggests that we certainly could continue to see more upside activity. Importantly, we saw the market find strong support at the 4280 and 134.248 levels, and importantly too was the bullish breakout up above both the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen over the last couple of days. And this market looks a little bit more advanced than the others in the depth of the close away from the Kijun-sen, suggesting that we have a stronger amount of bullishness in that in that medium and fast term timeframes. The problem here for the buyers is going to be the strong resistance overhead at 4347 up to the top of this zone, roughly about 4408, and we also have a window that was opened up when the market started falling apart over the last week or so, and that window within that zone may hold a strong resistance. So the job is there for the buyers to do. Whether they're strong enough to breach through these areas of strong resistance is debatable. Just looking quickly at a few stocks. First here is Sprint Nextel. S is the code, and here we see good strong bullish activity now coming into the market. A solid bullish breakout up above the previous swing high, with the market closing in a bullish manner just up above the 500 round number. Relative strength comparative is trending up very strongly, as is the momentum of that relative strength, and this suggests that we could continue to see further upside here in a market that's bullish in all three timeframes on the daily charts. Skechers SKX is an interesting stock on the daily charts, and here we see the market attempting to trade higher, but finding some strong resistance around the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen. Previously the Tenkan-sen has held as resistance. Today the market was unable to breach up through the Kijun-sen with a very small bodied candle. There is some doubt whether we are going to see continued higher prices here, even though we do have a longer term time frame uptrend. But looking at relative strength comparative, whereas this stock was strongly outperforming the overall market, it's now performing just slightly worse than the overall market. Certainly not underperforming, but if we look at momentum of the relative strength comparative, it's actually starting to come off, and it's been trending down very strongly in terms of momentum of relative strength. So certainly looking to take profits on this stock if we had been trading up through this area here. Looking at volatility, it has been coming off, and we've seen that retracement there, and maybe forming a cyclical low. We could see some volatility come back into the market, but certainly no hint of that happening yet. Next, looking at Facebook, FB is the code, and here we see a continuation of the trend in the first term time frame, making a higher high and a higher low, trading now within the Ichimoku cloud. So a change of sentiment in that longer term time frame from negative back to neutral. What we'll be looking for here is a breakout to the upside up above the cloud to give us some positive bias in the longer term time frame. But the market may trade higher and find resistance at the top of the cloud, which at the moment is up around the $92 level. Any solid bullish breakout will need to breach through this region here where we saw previous strong support coming in, so anywhere up to around this $94 level may hold as resistance. But we've seen previously some strong underperformance and now performing on a par, and there is an opportunity here for the buyers, if they're strong enough, to trade up through that cloud and outperform the overall market. Momentum of relative strength is just around the 100% level, about to break out to the upside above there, and is now trending up. So there is a possibility of Facebook starting to outperform, but I'd prefer to see this market break out through the Ichimoku cloud before we can consider any continued strong outperformance. Next, taking a look at Nike. NKE is the code, and here we've seen the market gap up, creating a window and breaking out through the top of the Ichimoku cloud. I'd like to see some strong follow through. This is strong bullish price activity, buyers in control, strongly committed. Potential resistance up to around this 113.18 level. If we can breach up through there in a bullish manner, we could see the market trade higher. Relative strength comparative is now outperforming the overall market, and momentum of relative strength is trending up. One thing to watch here is volatility may be topping out, so just watching that very closely, and we could see some resistance coming in up around the